beyond the paycheck. What really matters in a job? Now, before we get started, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. You should treat your new job or potential new job similar to buying a new car or used car. When you're getting ready to buy a new car or used car, you usually ask certain questions, right? Does it have leather seats? Does it have a backup camera? Does it have a heated steering wheel? What are the safety features of this car? You got to ask certain questions before you accept a job. Don't just accept it based on how much they're going to pay you. I made that mistake before, and I'm going to explain why you shouldn't do that. 2 jobs ago, I had I'm not going to say well-paying, but it was the highest paid based on the school that I was working in. And this particular job paid me, I think it was 25 something an hour. Yeah, 25 something an hour. And it was the best paying for working in a school that I've worked in. And I took this position based on solely the pay. I didn't ask no other questions. The questions that I should have asked, I wish I did, but I didn't. And 3 years later, or 2.5 years later, I was miserable. This job had the worst culture, the worst work culture I think I've ever been in. And there were people that would just look at you. You see these people every single day, and they look at you like you're in the Twilight Zone, like they don't recognize you. You see me every day, like, good morning, hello. But you got people that don't say good morning. Good morning is like a foreign word. When you say good morning to certain people, it's like you're trying to speak personal speech to them. And they're just like, huh? It just becomes so foreign to certain people when you say good morning. And I've learned from this school solely to close my mouth and don't say anything to certain folk. That's how bad it got. And literally everyone is walking around like zombies. No life in their eyes. Pupils just frozen, not blinking at all. And it's basically like you were in an environment of Resident Evil. Like there's no human life form. Everybody's a zombie. Everybody is tired. Everybody's exhausted. Everybody just looks dead. That's the best way I could describe it. Now, what I've learned when it comes to accepting certain positions, we're going to go over some questions that you should ask your potential employer. So let's go over number 1. What should I ask my employer before I say, I'm going to take this job? Number 1, time off. Understand this. Not all jobs are going to give you the same time off. Holiday pay. Some jobs will give you certain holidays depending on if you're an essential worker. If you're an essential worker, you may have to work a certain holiday. So these are some questions you need to ask and confirm. Do you guys have Christmas off? If you know in your heart that Christmas is very important for you and your family, these are questions you need answers to before you say, I'm going to accept this position. How is the holiday? Do you even pay on holidays? That's another question you need to ask. Some positions, you may have the day off, but they're not going to pay you. You need to know this because this will affect you down the line. You think you're going to enjoy your holidays? Guess what? You ain't getting paid for it. And you may not know that because you were so excited for that paycheck, that pay raise. And I don't want you guys to fall into that trap of just accepting what payment they give you. All right, number 2, work culture. You guys heard my experience. You need to know how the work culture there is. Is it diverse? You need to understand, if you look a certain way, you need to know, is this a diverse culture? How do you guys communicate? How is the staff? Are they cheerful? Are they happy looking? You need to understand this. And don't get me wrong, this potential employer may embellish on the truth because they want you to sign that line. But it does not hurt to ask. You may have an employer that may tell you the truth and tell you how the work culture is. So don't be afraid to ask that question. Number 3, are there ways to get promoted? You don't want to be in a position where years go by. You decide, I'm going to stay at this job. Years go by and you're in the same position. You always want to be in a position where you're able to move up. You don't want to be in the same position for 3, 4, 5 years. I've been in jobs where people have stayed in the same position, not saying they're wrong for it because they could be happy. This may be something they love to do. But I've also seen the other side of that spectrum where people wanted to move up. They've had so much experience in that position, but yet they weren't able to move up because they weren't recognized, they weren't appreciated, or they were just undervalued. You don't want to have yourself in that kind of position. You want to have the opportunity to move up. Number 4, these are for all my parents out there. Childcare. Ask certain questions involving childcare. If your child gets sick and you're on the job, are you guys flexible enough for me to leave that job without me getting penalized? Understand this. Your child is going to get sick. You parents out there that's watching this video, you guys know. There is no convenient time for your child to get sick. No convenient time. You could be trying to go to work for 2 weeks straight, 2-3 weeks straight, because you know your PTO bank is like looking kind of crazy. And you try not to do no FMLA or anything like that. So you're just trying to just work. That's when your child is going to get sick, most likely. I'm telling you, this is how life operates. Life does not wait for things to be convenient for you. So you need to ask that employer, are you guys flexible with childcare? Do you guys offer any kind of childcare benefits? Because some jobs actually have like childcare benefits involving, tuition payments, things of that nature. So these are good questions you need to ask. Number 5, tuition reimbursement. If you know you're going to go to school, if you know you're in school, ask about tuition reimbursement. Some of these jobs have these reimbursement programs where if you're in school and you're getting a certain degree, they'll give you money towards this. That's very important to ask. So you want to make sure you're not just asking how much am I getting paid, but ask, do you guys reimburse when it comes to tuition? And what are the tasks that I need to do in order to be reimbursed? Number 6, this kind of goes to childcare. You want to ask this potential employer, do you guys offer a flexible work schedule? Guys, it is 2025. So many things are happening outside of the job. We got so much going on. Especially up here, we got so much going on. There's going to be a time when you're working your job and the next minute you cannot work your job because something outside of that job happened. So now you have to leave. And you may not have any sick time. You may not have any vacation time. You may not have any kind of PTO within your bank. You need to ask that job, how flexible are you guys with work schedules? Because if my schedule is from 8 to 4 and I'm working hard for you guys and I get there at 8 on time and all of a sudden something happens at 12 p.m. Now I have to leave the job. So that's 4 hours that I'm going to miss from you guys because of an emergency. Will you guys be flexible during times like that? Trust me, I've been in situations at this particular job that I'm thinking of where my child got sick or an emergency situation happened and I needed to go, but I know I didn't have time. And that particular job was not flexible. They were not understanding. They didn't understand emergencies. You know these kind of jobs where you tell them something bad happened, and a lot of these guys look at you like Boo Boo the Fool. You know that they give you that look like you're not supposed to have an emergency. Those kind of jobs, those kind of employers. You tell them there's an emergency situation with your personal life, and they look at you like you're foreign all of a sudden. Like, did you understand what I just said? I have an emergency situation. I need to go. And those employers are the worst. I've experienced it. So I'm telling you guys this. I'm sure some of you have gone through employers like this. They don't understand anything that you're saying in that current moment because it's not a benefit to them. Once you tell them something that's a benefit to them, all of a sudden they can speak English again. They're just like, oh, yeah, I understand. Oh, great. Yeah. It's crazy. So make sure you're asking this question to these guys because it's very important. Emergencies are going to happen. You're not going to have a job where you're always going to be there when they need it. And you have to think about your lifestyle. Is your lifestyle hectic at the moment? And understand your lifestyle could get hectic. You're not going to always be able to be consistently working. Life happens. And there are employers that don't understand that life happens. You need a job that's going to understand what potentially could happen. And that's why some of these questions that I spoke about are very important. So again, guys, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. And tell me in the comments, what did I miss? Ask me some questions and we can go over it in the comments. Thanks for watching. Peace.